Alright, as we continue on working some of these proportion problems, here we have one that says x over 3.6 equals 4.5 over 6. So remember, these are proportions. We're saying this is to this as this is to this. Now, there's no way that we're going to be able to figure out what times 3.6 equals 6 in our heads. So we're going to use our proportion technique, our cross product technique. So this would be x times 6 for this cross product is supposed to equal the 3.6 times 4.5. So that's using our idea of cross product in order to solve this. Now let's clean up what we can. We can go ahead and do this multiplication here. That's just multiplying those decimals. So this would be x times 6 equals 3.6 times 4.5 would be 16.2. Now, we can, look at this one of two different ways. If we do not know, which we won't know off the top of our heads, what times 6 gives us 16.2, we can look at it either the algebraic sort of way. We can say, well, let's divide both sides by 6. Because 6 divided by 6, those cancel out top and bottom. And now here we have x equals 16.2 divided by 6 would be 2.7. Now the other way of looking at the exact same thing, whenever we were here and said x times 6 equals 16.2, the opposite of multiplying to get to an answer would be to divide and go backwards. So instead of looking at it algebraically, we could literally rewrite this as 16.2 divided by 6 will equal this unknown amount here, which is the exact same thing that we did up here. And then 16.2 divided by 6 would be 2.7. So again, 2.7 would be our unknown amount. Okay, let's look at this second one here. Here again, we're working with all decimals. We've got a missing part of this proportion, so we need to use our cross product method in order to solve it. So we're going to multiply 0.7 times this unknown amount, and that's supposed to equal, because this is a proportion, 9.8 times 3.6. So again, we're going to clean up what we can. We can go ahead and do this multiplication. So that would be 0.7 times x equals, and then we're going to have to use our calculator, or you could come out to the side and do 9.8 times 3.6, but that would be 35.28. And now, rather than multiplying to go forward, we could divide to go backwards. So 35.28 divided by 0.7 would equal that unknown amount. And when we do this division, either by hand or using your calculator, we should get 50.4 equals x. Now this is the correct answer. And as you get more comfortable and familiar, it might be nice to try and do things the algebraic way, just so that you get that good practice, because we are leading up to algebra as we go. Back at this step, you can also look at this as, well, I'm going to show you exactly what we did here, but I'm going to talk about it slightly differently. Right now, we have 0.7 times x. In order to figure out what this is, we need it to be alone. So the way that we get rid of this 0.7 that's with it is to do the opposite. The opposite of multiplying by 0.7 would be to divide by 0.7. And we can do that as long as we do it to both sides, because then it keeps our equals, or our equation, nice and balanced. So now over here on the left, we cancel out our 0.7s because we had one on top and one on bottom. So that leaves us with x on the left-hand side equals 35.28 divided by 0.7, which is the 50.4. We'll get the exact same thing. It just depends on how you look at it.